everybody, I'm Yolanda, aka Creative Mommy of Two, and welcome back to my channel. Today, well, you might recognize the project and have seen the title of this video, but we're going to do a WIP and Chat. So grab out whatever that is for you, and yeah, let's have a ramble, shall we? So first off, how was your week? I hope you had a good week. Mine was, as per usual, a bit all over the place. Been quite busy on some days, and some others, not so much. Oh, come on. My pen is already acting up, so maybe I'll need to change the wax in a little bit, but we'll see how far we get before I get totally frustrated with it. Probably not so far. But yeah, as I said, how are you doing? Yeah, let's just get into what I have all been up to this week, because yeah, I have a feeling I've been all over the place. My head at the moment is a bit, yeah, scatterbrained. So my brain is all over the place. I'm feeling okay, but my brain is constantly like, nope, you're not. So yeah, that's annoying. And just like the wax is also being annoying. But yeah, we'll see how everything will go today. So yeah, what all have I been up to? On Wednesday we just had a regular day because I'm just going to pick up where I left off, and since I filmed on my regular Tuesday last week, I can just pick up on Wednesday. Because yeah, Tuesday afternoons most of the times isn't too terribly exciting. Also, I'm again filming on Tuesday as per usual. But yeah, so like Wednesday was the usual. Had the kids off in the afternoon, just did some regular stuff. Kids did some crafting. They're really at the moment into making these loom bands. They love to do that, so they have been doing that quite a lot the past week. Husband took our daughter to swimming lessons. Afterwards we had our date night. As per usual, nothing fancy. We actually, like, again, played Animal Crossing New Horizons, which we have been playing quite a lot the last few months. And yeah, then it was Thursday again. So on Thursday I had per usual, I normally would have, was thinking as per usual, no, I didn't have my usual on Thursday. Normally on Thursday I go to the school to help with like the fruit and everything. But this week was, or well, last week I can better say, was the first day of like face-to-face interaction with like the people that will be testing our son, like doing his psychodiagnostics and everything. So we had the first face-to-face meeting, and yes, I'm going to get my little container to put in my trash wax because I'm going stir crazy. Thankfully it's within hearing distance, so if I talk just a little bit louder I can just be talking to you because it's in the cabinet right behind my camera. Yeah, so we had the first face-to-face meeting. It was just going over like the basics, like what do we want, can they offer, like whatever, what's the plan of where do we going to start. First like follow-up appointment, calling it like that, is also already planned in. It's actually not next Thursday, but next week's Thursday. So it's thankfully kind of quick. So that's always nice. As far as they plan now, since they have two people, quote unquote, guiding us, they are planning on one of them that will be going with us to go over like next talk meeting. And then the other person will be going with our son to basically start his diagnostics. Do like they plan on starting with a intelligence level thingy. Don't know what the English name is, but they are basically like testing all his like the intelligence levels, because there are certain things like within a test to see, like just like with our daughter, if there is like a disharmony there, which is pretty likely because they wanted to start with that, and if that was inconclusive or not enough information, they are like, then we can still plan another test. But let's start with that. So I was really happy that we could start with that, because if you were here when we were testing our daughter, it was kind of annoying because it basically, we also needed to have like we called it our play date. But normally when it comes to just regular playing with the regular toys, I'm just like, that's your minute, just do whatever you want. So it was kind of strange, and also like people being in your face, it felt really awkward. If you've had that done before, you know it's like really awkward. So I hope we can skip that this time. Fingers crossed. Because I don't like it. Like at all. And yeah, so hopefully we will be hearing it this afternoon, because most likely like around now when I'm filming, they have like their team meetup, so they talk about all the new quote-unquote cases, I'm going to call it, and see like if one of the other specialists thinks about a different plan that might help better. But they were like, most likely they will be done doing the split up appointment next week. At least that's what they're aiming for. So that also gives us a quicker time to have answers, which is also always nice. As they told us, they were aiming for like in 3 months, give or take, to have everything done. So perfect. That's like by December, give or take. So hopefully we have some answers then. Just also so we know, like when he has one of these moments, that we know what to do. At the moment, he's also like very quickly overstimulated when it's busy or something. So we're going to see how all happens. So yeah. So after we had that appointment, we dropped him off at school. He was there just before lunch, so that was nice. Already told his teacher, like most likely then and then he will need to go as well. And yeah, just the basics. Afterwards, just did regular stuff, nothing fancy. Picked the kids up from school again in the afternoon, and yeah, just did not much special. Actually, last week also finished my miniature that I told you I would like to finish. Well, I'm not having it fully finished yet, because it's like last phase that I'm like dragging my feet a bit for, because I need to like put in the wiring and everything. Well, it's put in, but now I need to connect it so the lights can actually light up. But that's the part that I'm not excited about. The other was already asking if they could play with it. I was like, you can, but if you do, it's quickly broken. So when you have your new room, you might, if you are nice, you might have it in your room just as decoration, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm planning on filming a review for that kind of as soon as I can. Not in the mood for it today, so it will not be today, but maybe tomorrow. Even though I need to go to the dentist tomorrow in the morning. So it depends a bit on how quick everything goes, because I do need to visit my dental hygienist to have a good clean, and I really dislike it, and yeah. But oh well. But yeah. So on Friday, I had a morning to myself as per usual. So I did some diamond painting, some cleaning, whatever I just needed to do. Afterwards, picked our son up from school. Then my husband came back and we sorted out some stuff that we needed to do, because we're also like in debate, like what did we already have, like stuffed animal wise, because the kids have a lot of them. So we sorted that out, so we know now what we have, which, well, not all, but at least like the quote-unquote important stuff. So yeah, it's a lot. It's quite a lot. Then afterwards we picked up her daughter from school. She had a little bit of a misunderstanding with her teacher, so she was already outside when she didn't need to be. We told her to quickly go back inside when we saw that the rest of her class was still indoors. She had a little bit of a freak out moment. So basically husband picked her up and dropped her inside. Thankfully, when she was back, like out of the school, when the teacher was with her, because then the teacher was quicker outside than she was. But that went thankfully all well. So her quick mood of annoyance was thankfully quickly fixed. We decided in the afternoon that we would go do barbecuing that evening, since we had like a burst of great weather the past week. And yeah, normally on Saturday my husband would have had his D&D. Ended up not working out because quite a lot of people were actually sick. So yeah. So that's for another day. But we will see. But yeah, so we needed to go to the store quickly. Did that, had our barbecuing afterwards. I think on Thursday it was that I hurt my wrist. Yeah, it was on Thursday, so I didn't do much diamond painting on Friday. And I just did my regular stuff and some like catching up on stuff, which every now and then needs to be done. I think I did a lot of editing and everything. So yeah, I was scrubbing so enthusiastically. I don't know what it was again, but I do know I was scrubbing something. Afterwards, for dinner, we also had something with like meatballs, so my wrist was just like, nope, too much for one day. Thankfully, I had my wristband on Friday, so it was a lot better. But yeah, it still wasn't the greatest. But then something in my shoulder started hurting. It was like as well the back as the front, so it was really annoying. But thankfully it all went well and ended up being just okay. Just had one day where it was not feeling the greatest, and then it started going better. So thankfully that was all it was. Probably just a little muscle that was just being a little bit annoying. So yeah, on Thursday and Friday I didn't do a lot of diamond painting. Well, actually I did no diamond painting. At least not in the evening. I also started to look at like what kind of sealer would work the best for the bookmarks that I've did for the school. Those I'm now batch by batch like sealing. Yeah, Saturday we were not sure what to do, and then we found out that it was Veterans Day / like Liberation Day here in our city. So we decided to go there so we could also see like the parade, because the kids last year at least loved that very much. Our daughter did, our son, yeah, we were there and we're like, we should have remembered that he does not like loud noises, so he was constantly like hiding. He was quickly like overstimulated. So we're like, we also need to remember that for when we have like our next visit with like his guiding theme. It was like, poor, but thankfully he was okay afterwards. Our daughter really liked it. We had done a few of the like activities that were there. After we did the parade, we went to like this like, it's like a blow up test course kind of contraption with like everything they could move through and everything. They liked it a lot, so they went through there a few times. Then when we walked to the car, we came by the climbing tower, so they wanted to do that. Our son was really brave, really wanted to try, but then was like, nope, as soon as he was starting to climb. So that was fine, even though when he was on the ground, he was still like, I want to do a more difficult one. I was like, yeah, buddy, be sure that you make it to the top first before you're going to do a difficult one. Our daughter first didn't go really high, and every time she tried, she climbed higher, because it wasn't too terribly busy, so she could go a little bit more often. But yeah, in the end, she had a kind of difficult course. I was leaning over in a certain part, so when she needed to come down, she was a little bit like, I don't want to come down. I was like, yeah, you're too high up. I can't grab you. You know how you can get down, because you were just as high like a minute ago. So she climbed down a little bit, and then she was like, oh yeah, I can do this. And she just, quote unquote, jumped. So that was fun, but yeah, I was exhausted after that. Didn't do a lot. Obviously, I didn't do a thing. And yeah. But yeah. It was fun though. I'm sorry if I made you yawn as well. I have a feeling I didn't sleep too terribly well this night. I don't know why. Slept okay. It took a long time before I got to sleep because it's starting to get cold again. So my feet were cold when I went to bed yesterday evening. So it took me quite a while before I fell asleep. So that was annoying. I can't sleep with cold feet. So that doesn't help. But oh well. But yeah, on Saturday we didn't do too terribly much after we came back from like our city center for like the Veterans Day stuff. But it was fun. Kids had fun, so that's important as well. I'm like debating, did we even do like anything that day? But I don't think so. So in the evening, I was able to diamond paint again, so yay! Husband was already joking like that I had withdrawals and everything. It's like, yeah, I don't have withdrawals, but I really miss it. um, yeah, on Sunday in the morning we didn't do too terribly much. The afternoon we actually wanted to work on our attic, but what we wanted to do we weren't able to because we totally forgot that we had like a hole in the flooring where there was a wall before, but we are moving that wall. But we are now putting up a different wall that needs to be over the hole. So we're like, we better make sure that we are first going to close that hole before we move on with the rest. We still obviously didn't get the planks for it, but oh well. We should work ahead sometimes. But yeah, so we ended up doing something in like the wall we put up because we had like one of these like barred windows we made so that there's like some airflow, but our daughter can't like hang through it and fall over the top of the stairs because it's like right on top of the highest point of the stairs. So if she would fall through there, she would fall quite deep and directly onto the stairs. So yeah, not going to happen, obviously. Yeah, so it doesn't feel like we did a lot, but it was still a thing that was necessary to do because it's basically like we needed to glue some plastic strips in place so it would also look a bit better when we start to like do the finishing details. Need to think of the word. So all in all, we did useful work, but it felt like we didn't do anything like at all. But we still kept ourselves busy there for a few hours. I don't think we will be doing anything this weekend. I hope we will, but I don't think so. Just because the simple fact that we also want to like start with Halloween decorating. We will also don't need to forget that we also need to pick up our daughter from school. So we are most likely like starting with the decorating. But then finishing when we have our daughter picked up, or one of us is going to pick up and the other one is continuing, or whatever. Depends how much we get done, probably before then. So most likely my Friday morning will partly also be like making space. If I even do that, it might also be that I'm just going to let my husband take care of that because yeah, I have no clue where all in the basement that stuff is standing. So that's also annoying. Let's fill up my tray like again. But yeah, so we were planning to like at least start on Friday with like the Halloween decorating. So it depends, can we get everything done on Friday? Then we might work on the attic on Saturday, or at least get like the planks done or something like it. Need to see how everything goes. But on Sunday, our son has a birthday party from a kid in his class. And last weekend, we also got a notification from my sister-in-law that her son, who's turning 12 on Friday, words, that they are having his birthday party on Sunday as well. So great, we also have a party to go to, so we can't do a thing. So that's kind of annoying because I want to have that attic done. I know if you've been here before, you heard me saying that way too many times, but yeah, I'm sorry. That's just my main stress level at this point in time. But yeah, we're getting there. We're now at least at a part where we have that part of the wall done that we also are constantly like looking at that we need to get done. So even though it feels like we haven't done a lot, we still have done quite a lot, or at least it's some useful things. Then yesterday, at least yesterday for me, so on Monday, it ended up being good weather. There was like quote unquote rain warning like the entire week last week when we looked at the weather forecasts, because we were planning on going to Gaya Zoo again because they've had red pandas a couple of months back, well, babies, and it's like one of our son's favorite animals, has been for years already. It was actually his first stuffed animal he picked out from there. I believe it was when we went there for his second birthday. And so, yeah, they're now old enough that they're roaming around more often. Huh. There's an alarm going off somewhere outside. But, yeah, so we wanted to go there, but yeah, it was kind of annoying the entire week. It was saying like rain weather. I was like, I'm going to go with the kids no matter what, because worst case scenario, I give them a raincoat. And then they can just run along. The husband wanted to come as well. But when it was Saturday, the weather forecast did say like it was good weather, at least in the afternoon. So we were a bit annoyed with that, but he ended up to be able to yesterday like work only the morning. So we went with the four of us anyway. The kids got really lucky because like one of the animals that we haven't seen there before is the European mink. But it was running through its enclosure yesterday, so kids were happy because they were able to see it once. Now we need only one of the mice that they have there. And for the rest, I think we've seen every animal by now. But yeah, the first time we went to the panda enclosure, we couldn't see any pandas. Yeah, we saw one of the grown-ups, so most likely the dad, high up in a tree, like looking out. And then we made our usual round, went through everything. The kids were a bit hyperactive, so they kept running around. Son was at a certain point that he was basically done with it. Like his energy was drained, at least for the upcoming few minutes. So he wanted to hold my hand and just walk like the two of us. So it was like fine by me. When we've been to all the animals, we just basically did like a little detour back to where the red pandas were, and we still couldn't find them. So it's like, hey, I know there's like in a little montage film of like you cute little red pandas roaming through the tree that they were basically like most sitting. So when I was looking, letting the kids look at that, all of a sudden husband was like, I see them. So I was like, okay. And there was like a little, not like a hole in the fence, but like in between the bushes that was there was like a little peek hole, basically. And from that place, you could directly look into that tree where the pandas most of the times were, and they were there as well. You could only hardly see them because they were a little bit hiding. The place where you could normally see them from, like the place where they actually, yeah, where you can normally look, you couldn't see them, but like from that little hole in between the trees, or at least in between the leaves, I can better say, it wasn't in between the trees or hedge or wherever you want to say. That's the good part of like having a year pass. You can go all year round without like the weather being annoying. It was also really quiet because yeah, they had a study afternoon. So in the morning they went to school, in the afternoon they had a day off. But yeah, a lot of other schools in our area still need to go. So it was super quiet. It was amazing. It was really nice. And yeah, the kids enjoyed really much. So if we looked at it right with like the parking ticket we have like 3 more visits, I believe, and then we've been 10 times because then we need to get a new parking card. So that was kind of like, I actually thought we've been more often. I thought we had like 1 or 2 more times to park because yeah, we've got a 10 times parking card. But yeah, but still, it's kind of a decent time since we've got the card like in either the end of March, well, the beginning of March or the beginning of April. It was like one of those two. But yeah, the kids really love to go, so they love animals like in general, so it's awesome for them. We're already planning on going like once when it's raining. It was like, hopefully when they have like their like fall vacation, we can say that they can basically, well, hopefully then it's like bad weather at the beginning of the week, that it's like really raining a lot, and then at least dry in the like either close to the weekend or something, so that we can go like one time in the week that it's like really bad weather to see like there probably will be animals that love the rain, so to see basically to see like what kind of weather does like well for what kind of animal. Obviously the animals that go into hibernation will pretty quickly begin to go into their hibernation, so that are a few less animals to look at, but it's not that I haven't seen them by now. But yeah, afterwards we had a lazy dinner, so we just made french fries. Kids loved it. I liked it as well because I didn't have to cook dinner. And yeah, basically that was about it. Oop. I'm going a bit too far here. Yeah, so today I'm just doing like housework catch up. Thankfully, I was able to do most of it in the morning yesterday before the kids went back from school. Well, were at school, can better say. Planning on doing some diamond painting in the afternoon. Probably when the kids are back home, I will also be doing some laundry. I have actually the dryer on now, so probably will be folding some laundry, depending on how everything goes. And yeah, so basically not much is happening. I have done quite a lot of the black, so I think I will finish the black just after screen. So that's done. So I can start next week with a little bit of color. That's the downside of something with a lot of background. There's just a lot you have to fill in. But yeah, I don't think I have much more to ramble. It's not too terribly long today, but yeah, that's the downside of not much having happened and my brain not being like fully braining. So yeah. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to, after this, quickly empty my phone with all the videos. Well, I have a little bit of time lapse and I have to end this WIP and Chat, putting it on my laptop and start editing everything. So that's what I'll be doing for at least a little bit. But yeah, I hope you all will have a wonderful rest of your day or night. If you liked the video, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and all the fun YouTubey stuff. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!